Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another battle report for you. Necrons versus Blood Angels, 1800 points. Before we get cracking though, if you would like to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. Right, so we are playing Eternal War mission. We've rolled and we're playing a retrieval, so 4 objectives worth 3 points each at the end of the game. And we've got Line Breaker, First Blood and Slay the Warlord. So the objectives have been placed. We've got 1 here, 1 there, 1 over the other side there, and 1 right on the outer rim just over there. We are playing the deployment zone, which starts with 6 inches there, going out into like a spearhead. I did end up deploying first, but we are going to do the usual thing, and we're going to roll off, and then because I deployed first, I'm going to add 1 to the dice roll, which is what the ITC do in their mission, so we're going to try that. Okay, so deployment. I have a squad of 6 destroyers just here with the Deceiver. Then over here I've got Imhotep the Stormlord and a Cryptic, 2 squads of 10 Immortals with Gauls, and a squad of 10 Warriors. Then we have the Triarch Stalker, trying him the first time, and I've just got Heat Ray on him just to didn't really have much points for anything else. And then here we've got some Heavy Destroyers, 3 Heavy Destroyers. Okay, so let's have a look at the Blood Angels army. So we have some scouts. These are close combat ones infiltrating there and there, or the new version of infiltrate anyway. We've got Methiston hiding behind that little rock face, along with another squad of scouts. They're sniper scouts. We then have 3 predators. They're a mixture. We've got some last cannon, autocannon, last cannon, autocannon, and autocannon heavy bolters. In reserve we have some vanguards with lightning claws, and we also have some death company, and Lamatus is going to try his hand tonight against the Necrons. So let's roll off and see who is going to go first. So I get +1 to my roll, and I rolled a 6. So I'm going to be definitely going first. Right, now I am also going to use the Grand Illusion from the Deceiver. So let's see how many units we can redeploy. So it's a D3. 1. I'm going to use a command point, and I'm actually going to re-roll that. So let's re-roll it. Sorry about this shaky cam. 3. Okay, so I'm going to redeploy, and then I shall be back. Okay, so redeployment done. So basically I moved the Deceiver all the way up over here, keeping him behind this sort of terrain piece 12 inches away from the scouts. I then redeployed the destroyers up over on that objective in that terrain, and I redeployed the heavy destroyers just there in a central position, so hopefully you can get a little bit more of a target practice as we move into Necrons turn 1. Okay, so Necrons turn 1. Started off doing the Storm from Imhotep on that tank there. Managed to take, I think it was 3 wounds off. No 6s were rolled for the units around them, so no extra damage. I then opened up fire using the destroyers onto the tank on the hill, took it down to 2 wounds. I then split fire with the heavy destroyers, exploded that one, although it didn't roll a 6, and took another couple of wounds off of that one there. So that's down to 5 wounds. The one on the end is at 4 wounds, 11 wounds. Then the other thing which I did is I moved the Catan and the Triarch Stalker forward. The Triarch Stalker shot into that tank on the hill, did a couple of wounds I think it was there, just helped to kill it basically. And then the Catan got power number 1, whatever that's called, and I did D3 mortal wounds on the scouts, and I rolled a 6, I killed 3 of them. No one else lost from morale. And that was basically my turn. I shuffled these units just slightly forward, but yeah, that was basically the Necron turn 1. So now we're going to move on to Blood Angels turn 1, see if they can retaliate. Okay, so turn 1 for the Blood Angels. So we had some deep strikers coming in. We had Lamatus, we think he's called, and some Death Company. Just deep strike there, trying to eye up my destroyers. Then the Vanguard with their lightning claws were eyeing up my heavy destroyers. In the meantime, the scouts and Mephiston moved forward, and these scouts here also moved forward. Scouts shot at the Catan, failed to wound them. In the meantime, all of these shots pretty much, apart from a couple that went into the destroyers, which I saved, the rest of the shots and smite from Mephiston all went into the Stalker. Took me down to 6 wounds there. To be fair, the Blood Angels didn't shoot very well, and as you can see, no assaults happened either. This one tried to assault here, did a command point to reroll 1 dice, still couldn't get in. And then over here, these guys, after losing 2 from Overwatch, tried to assault and failed to get in. These guys were safe from Overwatch. And that was it. That was turn 1 for the Blood Angels. So we're going to move on now to turn 2 for the Necrons. Okay, so turn 2 for the Necrons. The destroyers and heavy destroyers didn't move. I moved these guys up in range of the vanguards in the middle of the board. Gave my will be done to the squad of immortals there at the front. The Stalker just hid around the building a little bit, and the Catan eyed up the scouts. First of all, shot the Stalker into those guys there. There was about 4 storm shields, so it was always going to be quite hard work getting rid of them. I shot every single guy here into them, managed to take them out. I then concentrated on the Death Company, so the destroyers turned around and shot them, got them down to 3. I had a choice, shoot the heavy destroyers into them just to finish them off, but I thought I couldn't resist. With tanks on the table, I had to shoot them at the tanks, so I split fire. I shot 2 at the front tank that was down to 5 wounds. I managed to get that down to a 1 wound, and I took a couple of wounds off of that tank there. And then this guy over here, the Deceiver, used his psychic power. I rolled a 1, well, not psychic power, but powers of the Catan. So nothing happened. I then assaulted the scouts. I killed a couple in the assault. I took 1 wound back in return. All the morale was done for the Blood Angels, and everything was passed. And that was turn 2. Right, let's move into turn 2 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so turn 2 for the Blood Angels. The destroyers and heavy destroyers being the prime target. So the Chaplain, Lamantis and the Death Company moved up into range of these destroyers. And then the heavy destroyers here took some shooting from the 2 tanks, taking 1 heavy destroyer down. Mephiston here moved up, gave the tank at the back there a 4+ invulnerable save, and gave the scouts just in the front here a +1 to charge. They charged into my Deceiver. They took 1 wound off. I'm down to 5 wounds. I killed 1 scout in return. And then we went over here. The Blood Angels decided to send the Chaplain in first to take the Overwatch, and I managed to kill the Chaplain in Overwatch. I rolled a lot of 6s. And then the Death Company came in. In the assault I lost 1 wound, and I killed 1 Death Company. It's just 1 man there standing amongst my destroyers. And that was it, turn 2 for the Blood Angels. We're going to move in now to turn 3 for the Necrons. Okay, Necrons, turn 3. I moved these guys forward, got them in range of the scouts, repositioned the Stalker, shot at the scouts with most of my stuff, took them down to 3 guys, and I also took the tank out there from the heavy destroyers. In the assault, the Deceiver was taken down by the scouts, all 5 wounds taken off. He did explode. I killed the last 3 guys from 1 unit, and then I killed 2 guys from this unit. Then they just consolidated on the piece of terrain there. And that was it. So we move on swiftly now to the Blood Angels, turn 3. Okay, so Blood Angels turn 3, they're making a last stand, charging everything forward, just trying to kill as much as they can. So yeah, basically move forward after some psychic powers to try and give the tank there a 4+ invulnerable save, which you failed, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, failed that. Shot into my destroyers, managed to kill 1 destroyer there. And the Stalker lost a couple of wounds from a smite, and that was it. So we're going to move swiftly on. I'm going to now go to end of both turn 4s, and we'll just summarise as we're coming to the end of the game. Okay, so we've both had our turn 4 and the Blood Angels have now conceded. In the turn I shot into these guys, just whistled them down a bit. In retaliation, the target was my Immortals. Quite a big bunch gone from some psychic powers and shooting from the tank, and then eventually the scouts got in with a 10-inch charge. Still 5 Immortals left though, so it's looking pretty grim for the Blood Angels. They have conceded, and that is the end of the game. So I really hope you enjoyed the battle report. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Beam me up.